The purpose of this episode is to promote franchising as a business growth tool. If you've ever thought about franchising or considered it, I want you to have the tools you need to make a decision for or against it. Now, if there are myths around franchising and you want to know how it works, this is the episode for you. Now, if you're an entrepreneur supporting organization or professional and you really want to know how to grow businesses through franchising, you're in for a treat. Welcome to Small Biz Catalyst. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to make a consistently growing six-figure salaries from their business and the economic development professionals who support them. My name is Ayisat Abilogun. I am a certified entrepreneurship development professional and the CEO of Financial Leadership Club of America. I've empowered over 20,000 students and entrepreneurs through financial leadership training, courses, and workshops. Every week, we delve into innovative strategies, success stories, and actionable insights to empower small business owners as catalysts of economic resilience. Whether you're interested in community development, economic policy, or entrepreneurship, this podcast is for you. Thank you for joining me on this show. Let's dive into today's topic. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Small Biz Catalyst. Yes, this is me. It's truly me. My voice may be off. I've got a search party looking for it, but whatever is left, we're utilizing it. On today's episode, we have Matt Frentheway. Is that how you say your last name?
That's right. Yeah. Nice job.
Yay! So Matt is the co-creator of Legends Boxing Franchising. Not only does he operate franchise locations, but he's also incorporated this new business, Learn to Franchise, into the myriad of things that he does. He's a franchise consultant and he helps leaders perfect franchising so that they can replace their income or have income on their own terms. Now, you all know that at the beginning of every episode, I share with you the objective of what you're going to get at the end of this episode. So, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I've shared some nuggets, but I want you to just share something that you would want the audience to know and how you even got into franchising.
Well, that's a great question. Well, when I came out of college, my plan was to be a veterinarian originally.
Ooh.
And I had a year to wait to go to veterinary school. And I got my first job out of college. And I lasted there for about a month and a half. And I realized that I'm pretty much unemployable.
Oh my God.
That doesn't mean that I can't work for somebody or get jobs done. I can do a good job with that. But I like to be the master of or captain of my calendar and call the shots. And so that started my journey into being an entrepreneur.
Here.
Over the next 30 years, I've started or been a part of 16 different businesses, some of them franchising. But what I learned, what got me into franchising is learning how to scale a business into being a business owner, not just being self-employed. Some people think when they own a business, they're a business owner. They are, but if your business cannot run without you being there every day, you need to find something to do to scale yourself so that you can have that free time you're looking for. Anyways.
So you want to own the business, not have the business own you.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. So I had several years where the business owned me and I learned how to scale myself out of that. Finding franchises was a big part of that. Franchising lends itself to being able to own your business rather than the other way around. So originally I came in to franchising as a co-founder of a national fitness franchise. I eventually sold out of my ownership in that, but I've been also a franchisee of other franchise brands and I've owned many independent businesses as well. But that's really my story into entrepreneurship. I just didn't see myself having a job working for somebody the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I was young and so I could take those kind of risks at that time.
You did great because a lot of people wait until they're fed up before they actually go into entrepreneurship. And I know you talk about two types of business ownerships. I like to keep things very simple. Can you tell us what they are and why you describe business ownership in these two buckets?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So that kind of goes along, it does actually go along with what we were just talking about. Does the business own you or do you own the business? Now, the first type of business ownership model is really when the business owns you, and that's being self employed or being an owner operator of a business. That means you're
Yes.
working full time in the business. You might be behind the counter running the register. You might be out in the field if it's a service type business, but the business really relies on you running it, being the technician. And if you're not running it and doing that, the business probably isn't going to run too well. So some people call it being own your own job or being self-employed. A lot of times it's better than working for somebody because you have all the upside and you get to call the shots, but your time is limited, and so therefore you're owned by the business. The other type of business ownership model that I think most people want to get to, some people call it semi-absentee, semi-passive executive
Mm.
model. But what that means is you've been able to build your business to a point where you can replace yourself. You can hire a manager to do the things that you used to do, and that will give you the free time that you need to grow other businesses or just pursue the passions you have in your life. That requires about 10 to 20 hours of your time per week. And so most people, if they want to be a business owner, they can start it as an owner operator and move up to a semi-absentee owner. But that's really where you want to go if you really want to be a business owner.
So you don't want to wear all the hats. You don't want to be the janitor, the CEO, the operator, the CMO, and all at once.
That's right. Yeah, it's like I don't know if you recommend a book called The E Myth to your audience, but that is a great book that just identifies what you're talking about, wearing all the hats. And so sometimes you have to do that in the beginning of a business, and that's okay. But as you grow your business, keep in mind, okay, how can I make this replaceable? How can I hire somebody to replace me in wearing that hat?
Okay, I'm
So,
going to need you to send me the full title of that book so we can add it in the show notes.
okay,
Um,
I'll send it to you right now.
Now, for those people who are interested in franchising, what questions should they ask to find the right, in order for them to find the right franchise for themselves, in order for them to find the best fit? What questions should they be asking?
Yeah, and this just isn't with franchises, by the way. This is in general, as far as finding a good business that matches up well with you. But I have several of them. I'm not going to go into all of them. But I think the number one thing a person should look at is personal alignment. What I mean by that is think about what are your strengths and weaknesses? What are your capabilities? What things are you good at and what things are you not good at? Another thing to understand is what are you passionate about? Now, some people think that passion means they have to be passionate about the product or service they're actually providing to their customers. That's not necessarily what that means, but do you have a passion to grow a business? Other people have passions to employ people and make their life successful and get them on a track where they want to be. So you can have passions of all types of things, but you want your business to be able to provide the passion that you're looking for.
So your
Another great thing, go ahead.
so your passion could be developing other people, and owning your own business could be an outlet for that.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people I talk to, their passion is to be mentors to people, and so they can do that by hiring people and giving them opportunities that they wouldn't normally have had, and helping them grow in life. That's just one passion. Some people have passions just growing a business, um, and watching it grow and be successful. Another big thing is how much can you afford? If you want to buy a franchise, there's different price points on franchises that you can buy, but how much can you afford? And then, of course, how much money do you need to make? Will that franchise be able to provide the money to you that you need to make to support you, yourself, and your family? Or that's two, you and your family. You, not you and yourself, but you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely should ask questions about the money. And I'm going to get to that. But I want to ask one question. I think for a lot of people, even if they're considering franchise and they're like, and, we've talked about, okay, finding your purpose, your passion, and, how you could use this. But are there good franchises out there? Because, I mean, there are some myths about people go, this is a terrible purchase, this is a terrible idea, or I haven't had a good experience. Are there some good franchises out there? And what would you call like maybe the best franchises out there? Because I'm sure everybody wants to be in a franchise that works for them and a franchise that's working.
Absolutely. Yes, I have three major things a person should look for in a franchise. Number one is somebody there at the franchise that has a lot of experience in that particular industry. Number two is somebody there on the corporate or the executive team that has a lot of experience in the franchising industry. And then number three, does the franchise have the financial capabilities to grow? Some of the worst things that happen to franchises is they get to be very popular and they grow very fast and they can't afford or they don't hire the support staff to support the franchisees to be successful. And so the franchisees are kind of left on their own. And that's usually most of the horror stories that I hear is the franchisees are left on their own. The franchisor is not supporting them and giving them that value. And so you want to make sure that you have a franchise that has the financial and experience wherewithal to support those franchisees as they grow.
I'm trying to take notes, but go ahead.
So it really doesn't matter the brand, the brand of the franchise. It matters that they have that capabilities. Now, one thing that a person gets to do when they look at a franchise, if they do it right, is they get to talk to other franchisees of that franchise. And I think this is the most important step that a person should do. And they get to find out how the franchisor has treated those franchisees on a one-on-one basis. And so that's a really good way to find out if a franchise is good or not, is being able to talk to other franchisees.
So, of course, getting to the money part, how much does it cost to get involved in a franchise?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, there's 3,000 to 4,000 franchises in the US, maybe even more sometimes. So really the price point is all over the place. But what you got to look at when you get into a franchise is how much is the franchise fee and then how much are the startup costs. It's two different things. But I call it the all-in number. So some franchises you can get into as little as $50,000 and some are well over $1 million. It just depends on the type of franchise you want to get into. Now, the good thing is you can finance these things. So you don't have to have all cash to get started. But remember, starting up your own business can be expensive too. You've got to have capital to start up your own business and pay the bills until your business starts generating revenue. Franchises are no different.
So where can people go to get started if they're interested in franchising?
I think the best thing a person can do in looking to find a franchise to buy is work with a franchise consultant. Franchise consultant will help them. They'll be basically a matchmaker to find out what the personal alignments that we talked about the person has, their strengths and weaknesses, what their budget is, and these characteristics that a person wants to have in their ideal business. That franchise consultant should be an expert at the franchise out there to be able to match those up to their ideal candidate. And that will save somebody a lot of time and money and mistakes because it can be a daunting process trying to find the right franchise for yourself. So I think the fastest way is to find a good franchise consultant. That being said, Entrepreneur Magazine has the top 500 franchises each year. There's websites that have franchises. I call them portals. They have all sorts of information about different franchises out there. So that's one way to go to see to get exposed to all different type of franchises. So but I think a franchise consultant is going to give you the best shortcut.
Hey there, if you're just joining us, this is Small Biz Catalyst. We would like to invite you into our Tag a Business team. Here's what you need to do. Nominate a small business of your choice, tag them on our website at smallbizcatalyst.org. That's small, BIZCATALYST.org. Tell us your name, give us your email address because that's how we'll be able to tell you if you're a winner or not. And then give us a website to a business of your choice. It could be your business or somebody else's. Once you've tagged the business, you'll be entered for a $25 drawing to a local business of your choice. We'll announce winners every month. And now, back to the show. How do you even find a franchise consultant? I know I'm talking to one right now, so if you're looking for a consultant, here's one live. And we're going to have your information in the show notes as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help folks out there, but it doesn't have to be me. I think the best way to find a franchise consultant is you can do a Google search really fast, and you'll have lots of franchise consultants come up. LinkedIn is a great place to look for franchise consultants. I type in the keyword franchise consultant on LinkedIn, and there will be all sorts of franchise consultants that pop up. That's kind of the mecca for franchise consultants to market in, is LinkedIn. So I'd go there first to look for one. And then I'd interview. And some things I look for in a franchise consultant is, do they have business experience? And specifically, do they have franchise experience? Have they been in the franchising industry? Have they been a franchisee, or have they been a franchisor? Then they can really walk the talk.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was like, like, if they walk the walks, walk the talk, that's pretty cool. I know for some people, they're thinking, great, maybe I'm not interested in franchising, but I have a business that's growing and I'd like to franchise it. How can someone franchise their own business?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I know that's a lot of us entrepreneurs aspire to do that. It's a great way to grow their business. So the first thing I would do is I'd make sure that your business, the business that you want to franchise, has one location that's up and running, that can run without you being there. I'm talking about being a true semi-absentee owner. You have a manager that can run that business. And then you have the systems and processes in place to run that business. And then the next thing is to open up a second location. It's what we call a proof of concept. So now you have proof that two locations can exist and be successful. And that's what prospective franchisees look for, or candidates to be a franchise, is they're looking for a proof of concept. Can this business exist outside of just one location, and can it run without the founder or owner running it themselves? That would be the first two steps, is to do that. And then once you do that, then it's time to start talking to franchise attorneys to build franchise disclosure documents and get into the legalities of that. But those are the first two things that I would do first. I would do those.
So would you need a consultant at that point, or at this point what do you do? Like, what next after you talk to the lawyers and you have the location? I guess the lawyers handle that. And maybe the consultants.
What I would do is I would find somebody that's, you don't necessarily have to hire a consultant, but find somebody that is familiar with the franchising industry, probably somebody that's helped people become a franchise, or they become a franchise themselves, and just stay in touch with them. That'd probably be the most inexpensive way to do it at first, and they can direct you to the right people to talk to at the right time. Now, there are people that consult people on how to become franchises, and they'll do it for them. And if you have a lot of money, that's a good way to go. It's a pretty fast way to become a franchise. But if you don't have a lot of money, just network with people that have franchise experience as far as helping people become franchises, and pick their brain if they're willing to help you, and go that route. Wow. There is also a book that I want to give you as a resource. Okay. It's called Franchise Your Business. I'll put it in the notes as well. That is a great book to read if you want to become a franchise. It doesn't cost very much, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do to become a franchise.
I'm actually going to find these books on Amazon and put a link to them in the podcast. So what's it called? Franchise Your Business?
Yeah, Franchise Your Business.
By
Mark Siebert. And I'm putting it in the notes too.
Okay.
Siebert.
Oh, thank you. Okay. And then the E-Myth by...
Yeah, and the E-Myth has been around for a long time. So there's like a new updated version that comes out every year. So really easy, simple read. It's told in a story format. So it's fun to read or listen to Audible. But it's everything you're talking about. It's talking about wearing all the hats. You want to find people to wear all the different hats. And then also being a slave to your business, or having the business own you. Are you working on your business or in your business? I'm sure you heard those things. That's really where those phrases were coined from.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I'm going to look for that and read it. Matt, this has been I feel like it's been so rich. It feels like dumplings glued together, nugget after nugget after nugget after nugget. Such a rich episode. Here are some things, just to recap, that I've learned. Find one location, make sure it can operate without you, and then start a second location in order to have proof of concept before you can franchise your own business. Now, if you're looking to franchise another business, get a consultant, go on LinkedIn, search for a good one, do your research, have your lawyers, make sure your I's are crossed and your T's are dotted. Or is it the other way? I's dotted and T's crossed?
Yep, that's right.
I like to reverse them. And branding doesn't matter. There isn't a one um, particular franchise that's good out there, but you need to look deep into them, make sure that they know what they're talking about, they are walking the walk, they are giving you financial support and operational support, and they actually have been there. They're not just salespeople. And then, managing someone with experience in operations. I mean, this has been so good. I couldn't take my notes quick enough. So I feel like I'm missing a lot. So I'm going to have to re listen to this episode. But I'm going to ask you a bonus question.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for today's entrepreneur?
I think the best advice I have for today's entrepreneur, I mean, there's so much advice I could give based on my experience, but I think two things. One is to be resilient. Sometimes things don't work out as fast as you want to. Sometimes they grow faster than you want to. And so you have those pain points too, but be resilient. Um, keep on remembering why you're doing that business, and that will keep you in the game. And the other thing is learn how to pivot quickly. The business landscape just changes so fast. So what works now may not work next year this time. And so you got to be quick to find out. You got to be quick to pull the trigger on something that's not working and try something new. And don't go down with the ship. So those are the two best words or advice I'd give: resilience and being able to pivot or move fast when things need to change.
Those are great advice. Be resilient. Remember why you started the business and basically have a purpose, and change with the times as it's needed. So if AI is the way to make your business more resilient, don't fight it, incorporate it. And if it's something else, if it's hiring that person that you really need to grow your business, go for it. Matt, I can't thank you enough for being here. I mean, I know it's been 2 years since we've been on this journey, and we finally get to hang out on Small Biz
Yeah.
Catalyst. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. And it's such a pleasure to have you here. I can't wait to get this episode out.
Well, thanks for having me here. I'm excited to have been here. I'm happy to hear or help your audience or listeners out in any way I can. But it's been a pleasure and to be here with you.
Absolutely. And now it's time for the grant section of the program. Today's grant announcement is from McKesson Foundation. The programs sponsored by these grants are food, agriculture, nutrition, health, diseases, disorders, medical discipline, employment, economic development, job-related and business grants, public safety, human services, and more. This grant is available in the following states: Georgia, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and nationwide. The counties are Fulton, Franklin, Shelby, Dallas, Harris, Tarrant, Richmond City. To be eligible for this grant, you need to be a 501c3 nonprofit organization or Canadian equivalent. Programs must be based within the United States or Canada. For grants over $25,000, applications are accepted year-round. Requests over $25,000 are accepted from February 1st to April 30th annually. The guidelines and application for this grant can be found at McKesson.com. That's McKesson.com/about-McKesson/impact/McKesson Foundation. Details will be included in the show notes. If you have found this show valuable to you, would you please leave a review and rate the show so that others may find it? Would really appreciate that. Of course, if you'd like to leave a comment or text, that would be cherry on top for me. I read every comment, review, and feedback that you provide. Thanks for listening to the Small Biz Catalyst. Until next time. Hey Hey there, if you're just joining us, this is Small Biz Catalyst. We would like to invite you into our Tag a Business team. Here's what you need to do. Nominate a small business of your choice, tag them on our website at smallbizcatalyst.org. That's small, BIZCATALYST.org. Tell us your name, give us your email address because that's how we'll be able to tell you if you're a winner or not. And then give us a website to a business of your choice. It could be your business or somebody else's. Once you've tagged the business, you'll be entered for a $25 drawing to a local business of your choice. We'll announce winners every month. And now, back to the show.